Come on now, gang. We gotta make it make sense. How you first comment but not first like? First comment, get a cash app prize.
I gotta visit Chicago. I gotta be in Chicago
What
sometimes.
cipher?
Like, or I'm damn near forget where I came from. Feel me? So, you know.
Stay real to the streets and everything.
Polo G got all this money, and your little brother really robbing the cameraman.
He fumbled the bag.
Yeah.
I do want to say, man, Polo G's brother, Trench Baby, is the epitome of blowing the bag. The conversation in the industry for the last year is that Polo G brother has been running around here robbing every cameraman, every videographer. He robbed even a couple streamers. And he's been using Polo G's name.
Welcome back to another episode of Swamp Stories.
Damn, something happened with my headphones. But look though. Some people you just naturally can't take with you, bro. Cause of that shit right there. Some people you just naturally can't take with you. As much as Polo G wanted to have his brother live that life that he lived, he wasn't built for that life. You see what the fuck he was doing? Opportunity of a lifetime. My older brother, this rapper, and they fuck with me too. Not saying he can get unlimited features from Polo G, but goddamn. I mean, he got the opportunity to make legit bread. Good legit bread. And he just doing the craziest shit for no reason.
I usually say this is the best one yet or this is the craziest, but here I'm not gonna lie to you. But it's not because this one isn't a crazy or interesting story, it's more so because the last one might be impossible to ever top. Not only was the story insane, but I also put so much work into it that you should definitely watch it. Regardless, this story here is mind-blowing as well, and it actually crosses state lines in the strangest way possible. We center around a young man who many would say threw his life away for absolutely no reason. But that's just an outside perspective, and maybe the situation is much deeper and more complicated than people know. Because of this, we take a deep dive into the life and story of a man who potentially threw his silver spoon life down the drain. This one is straight up crazy. But before we get into it, let me run the intro. The story begins in the cold Chicago streets, but in particular a part of the rack that nobody ever talks about. We always hear about the danger of the south and west sides, but for whatever reason we never hear about the danger of the north. However, believe it or not, at one point the north was equally as wild as the south and west, as it was home to various housing projects. You of course had the massive Cabrini Greens projects, which was home to 4,000 units, but you also had smaller projects such as the Marshall Field Gardens. So with all of these impoverished families in one area, sadly, a ton of violence followed. In particular, the Cabrini Greens and Marshall Field went to war in the 1970s, and sadly it never let up. But on top of this, each project was so big that they actually had internal beef with themselves. Because of this, for decades, the near north side was an extremely dangerous place to be. Residents had to watch out for rival projects, but also their neighbors as well. It was just a terrible place. It was so bad that the city of Chicago decided to step up, but not because they deeply cared, rather because they saw an opportunity. The neighborhood was surrounded by wealthy areas, making it a prime place to gentrify. So as a result, the city decided to demolish all of the—
Are you gonna be mad at me? You knew what I was looking for? Who the fuck sent that bullshit? He need to go. It's equal faults here at best. It's equal faults here, man. I don't know. I ain't like the tone. I ain't like the temperature you try to slide back in with. I had to let shit be known. Fuck. Talking about some, yeah. Niggas, yeah. Hey. You see how I just try to manipulate the fuck out of that shit? It's equal faults here at best was crazy. Oh, shit. Hell yeah.
The projects and sell them off to private owners. The process began in the 90s and continued all the way into 2014. Basically, the projects were torn down one building at a time, and the residents were given Section 8 vouchers to move somewhere else.
It's a neighborhood surrounded by profound change, now populated by high-tech workers, trendy restaurants, and both mixed income and pricier condominiums.
Of families earning over $200,000 a year, this is the fastest growing area, not just in the city, but in the nation.
So year after year, the near north side of Chicago was changing dramatically as residents kept being pushed out. One of these families who was pushed out was the Bartlett family, longtime residents of the Marshallfield Gardens. The family was headed by a man named Torres, who was a young teenager amidst the crazy beef. Torres was a reputed member of 1300, a gang that represented the 1300 block of Sedgwick Avenue. 1300 is a well-known set of Mickey Cobras that pretty much have beef with everyone on the north side. Because of this, OG Torres was forced to pretty much always live in survival mode. And by the age of 18, he already had 2 children, an oldest girl named Leilani and the youngest Torres Jr. Raising 2 kids as teenagers was definitely tough, but the Bartletts did whatever they could to survive. So often when the parents were working or doing what they do, Torres Jr. was out in the neighborhood at a young age.
You would just be on the block sometimes like the whole night.
Yeah. Like, as a kid too, really, like, just out and about. You just having fun, really, for the most part. Like, you ignoring all the everything that's going on around you. Like, you ain't thinking too much of it. It's like, when you get older, it starts to sink in. Like, dang, it's crazy.
As a kid, Torrance would be out on the block all night seeing things that he should probably never see. But in the hood, I guess that's normal.
So what would happen when you would go home the next day? What would your parents say?
It's nothing. They ain't really think too much of it because we in the hood. Everybody know everybody.
Well, eventually, Torres Jr. started to realize that everything going on around him was wrong, and he used school as a sanctuary to escape the madness. Because of this, he developed into being a great student who was skilled in writing and definitely in poetry. However, due to his surroundings, he was simultaneously led into a life in the streets. Even from the ages of 9 or 10 years old, banging 1300 was kind of looking like his future. His older friends in the hood were jumping off the porch, so whatever he was doing at this age could potentially shape the rest of his life. But then, thankfully, around 2010, the Bartlett family moved out of the Marshallfield Gardens. They moved specifically to a part of Southside Chicago called the Low End. For a now 11 or 12-year-old Torres Jr., this move was crucial for his development. Although the Low End is also a rough area, the move moved him away from the Northside politics, removing him from the beef that he was eventually gonna be in. It also moved—
No bullshit, bro. This how big the city Chicago is, bro. I tell this story all the time, but it's like a true story, you know? Nigga, I went to Uncle Remus. And, hey, look, in the Bronxville's neighborhood, whole time, this where Billionaire Black is from. Goddamn Tay. Not Tay 600, but the other Tay. Goddamn Welch World, and like all these prominent hoods, TTB Nez and them. I'm talking about all these prominent hoods. Tay Savage, yes, but all these prominent hoods, bro. I went to this place, bro. I'm talking about. It had to been 9 o'clock at night. Mind you, it's the winter, so it get dark early. I am out there ordering Uncle Remus, nigga. Mind you, know, it's the hood, though. You mind your business, you should be straight. You should be straight. I just ain't know where the fuck I was actually at the time. It took me getting back in here and learning some shit, and I'm like, hold up. Because I remember vividly, I kept seeing Bronzeville. Like, you go through Bronzeville, they got the neighborhood posting on side of buildings and shit, like paintings and shit. Hell yeah.
Moved him to a different school, allowing him to focus on his talents. So by all accounts, moving from the Marshall Field Gardens to the low end was a great move for Torres Jr., but for his brother, well, you'll see. That introduces us to the youngest Bartlett's son named Torian. Hello. Born in 2005, Torian barely experienced growing up in North Chicago. So unlike his brother, he decided to rep the low end as his turf, specifically the area of 43rd and St. Lawrence. So while his older brother was focusing on school and developing his talents, Torian, well, not so much. He was not able to follow in his brother's footsteps at all, as school for him was not a sanctuary. In fact, since a young age, it's actually where he had many problems, fighting and doing all kinds of nonsense.
I ain't gonna lie, I was bad as shit. I was doing damn near everything under the sun, man. I ain't gonna lie, school was tough. Like, you feel me? I was really like the knucklehead, so it was like staying in school was hard for me. Like, I always get suspended and like that, so like.
Because of his constant fighting and getting suspended, he kept getting kicked out of school and sent around the city. Sadly, anger problems and being surrounded by the lethal South Chicago streets were leading him down a very bad path early on. So for him, the family's move from the north down to the south was not looking like a good idea. Especially because by this time, the north was already 90% gentrified. In fact, today, Marshall Field Gardens are completely surrounded by million-dollar condos and vegan cafes, if you know what I mean. So Torian was stuck growing up in a neighborhood that was trending the exact opposite way of where they had come from. Like, specifically, the block his family had moved to was turning into a war zone. No, literally. Let me explain. Historically, Chicago was kind of like LA, where you had these massive gangs that everything was connected to. Like, you were either BD or GD, and no matter what neighborhood, that was who your rival had to be. But as they tore down all of the projects and the residents were dispersed into different neighborhoods, the gang ties were pretty much all mixed up. Since the early 2000s, on one block you could have GDs, BDs, Vice Lords, Latin Kings, and whatever else. Eventually, trying to maintain the structure of how things were was becoming impossible, so they all decided to just give it up. Pretty much it was no longer about BD or GD, but rather who you hang out with or which block you're from. So hybrid cliques started forming all over the city, one of which taking place exactly where the Bartletts moved. In the mid-2000s, a group of teenagers in the low end between 40th and 43rd joined together and created So Icy.
Oh, the girl's excited. Oh, I think you like it. So icy.
So Icy were fly guys.
Let's throw a little auto-tune or something on that. Maybe it would have hit different. Maybe that shit would have hit different. I'm talking about maybe. But as it sit, draw vocal, don't do that shit again, man. We fuck with you. But you on some bullshit right now.
Who loved to dress up and have fun, inspired by Gucci himself. They were headed by a rap group called the 20 Brick Boys, who were basically the first people in Chicago to have professional music videos. Because of this, So Icy and the Brick Boys had a major buzz in Chicago and were known for getting all of the girls. But don't get it twisted, they also had major hitters in the streets, such as Tay Savage and Anthony Welch. Tay and Welch were like best friends, you never saw one without the other. Well, at first, the So Icy boys didn't really have beef. They fought some rivals, but that was pretty much it.
We started out fighting. We used to fight thought to be Wells in high school.
But in the nature of Chicago, beef would eventually come. It all started when the So Icy boys fell out with a clique called the Av, located on 37th in Indiana. It began as fights, disses, and overall disagreements between the cliques. But then, in typical Southside Chicago fashion, the Av would take it to the next level. That takes us to May 13th, 2010.
That's what they gotta do.
Tay Savage is posted up.
It's always gonna be motherfucker gonna push it to the next fucking level.
Up outside on 32nd and King Drive, and that's when a car rolls through. Tay isn't paying attention, so that's when somebody hops out of the car and runs up. Tay is hit once in the stomach, and his friends rush him to the hospital where he thankfully survives. However, due to the complications of the surgery, he remains in the hospital for over a week. So Icy were pissed, but none more than Tay Savage's best friend, Anthony Welch. So while Tay was in the hospital recovering, Welch was outside looking for revenge. May 15th, 2010, 7 p.m. Welch and a SOIC associate are allegedly sliding around looking for a rival. At 7:15, they go through the Av's neighborhood, and that's when they spot a man outside. So with all his anger, Welch instantly hops out of the car and starts approaching the members. Little does he know the Av are on point, and they beat him to the punch. The loss of Welch absolutely devastated the So Icy Boys, so much so that they changed their name to Welch World. Welch World basically represented a dedication to get back for Welch, and that would definitely happen. Sadly, over the next year, Tay Savage and the So Icy Boys would go body for body with the Av. In fact, the two people that were said to be responsible for the loss of Welch both ended up dying. The beef got so bad that the low end was turned into an absolute war zone, and nothing was gonna stop it. In fact, Welch World was so wicked that all of their rivals had to click up as one. In particular, the Av joined together with two cliques, Rock Nation 027 and Lawless 035. These are both reputed GD sets located on 27th and 35th respectfully. So together they formed 757 for 27th, 35th, and 37th together. Basically from 2013 on, 757 versus Welch World was the major beef on the low end. Woo-hoo. Things were crazy. So now that you understand the context, you understand that the Bartletts moved right into Welch World territory. And this means that throughout Torian's upbringing, this was his surroundings, and this is who he was looking up to. Sadly, by the age of 12, he was already out.
Wait, if dude was born 05, by 2010, it would make him 5 or 6. No, just 4 or 5, actually. A lot of this shit ain't got shit to do with Buddy. Hell yeah. I just want to point that fact out.
Outside with Welch World, right in the line of fire. Things were already looking bad for Torian, but thankfully for his brother, things were looking the complete opposite. Taurus was able to completely stay out of the low-end politics and rather focused on his newfound talent. In late 2017, he began rapping under the name of Polo G, and it instantly took off. It all started with a SoundCloud song called Gang With Me, and that's how he got his instant recognition. From there, he was intelligent enough to capitalize off his buzz and to send the video to WorldStar. As the views piled up, Polo was truly becoming a star, all with his little brother right by his side. Then by early 2019, Polo signed a major record deal and bought a home way across the country. California, living in the hills. Just like that, he was able to take his family out of the Chicago trenches. He decided to bring his little brother with him and even purchased his mom a home in Atlanta. So now instead of living and going to school in the trenches, Torian was living in the beautiful Los Angeles hills. This meant that the troubled Torian was now enrolled in 8th grade in Los Angeles. Obviously, this is a much better environment than what he just came from, as now he's completely removed from his politics. In a perfect world, this is where his troubled ways go away, as he's now in a great environment. But that's just the perspective of people who have no grasp on reality, as many issues are much deeper than surface level. Cause growing up in survival mode has serious long-lasting effects, and sometimes they take a whole lifetime to wash away. On top of this, you never know what anyone's been through at home. Like, his home life could have been horrible. Well, regardless, Torian's ways did not change one bit in Los Angeles schools.
We had moved to Cali.
At 14, now you gotta leave all Chicago and everything, man. Does that kind of suck for you? Like, damn, all my homies and everything?
Hell yeah, I was young. I ain't really had no good understanding on life, and you feel me? The trenches was really all I knew, so like I say, I was coming to, you feel me, California with that same Chicago mindset. You feel me, my 8th grade year, I had moved, went to high school, got kicked out of high school. Shit, I just said, fuck that shit.
What'd you get kicked out for?
Fighting, same shit. And you know, that shit just wasn't working out for me. Like I said, I was getting kicked out of school still and shit like that. Like, I just ain't know how to adapt, you feel me? I'm young. I done been in this shit all my life now. This shit just flipped around and now I'm in this. It's like I don't know how to adapt to that because I was so young, but yeah.
Transitioning from the Chicago trenches to California was definitely a tough route. All he ever knew was the streets and the ways of the streets, and the same can be said about his family.
They couldn't really say shit. My family was in the streets. You feel me? Can't really tell me not to be in the streets or how to maneuver through the streets, and you a street person yourself. That's really being a hypocrite, you feel me? So they really just let me do me and just hope for the best.
Motherfucker gotta be that hypocrite though. Sometimes motherfucker gotta be that hypocrite though. I know it's hard for you to listen off the strength of me being a hypocrite, but sometimes motherfucker gotta be that hypocrite. Here's why I feel like sometimes you gotta be that hypocrite. You had already did wrong. You had already made mistakes. You done already did all the worst. You know, did all the fuck shit, the bullshit. You done already bumped your head 10 million at one time, for real. Shit, I feel like you probably the best teacher on what not to do. Fuck. So yeah, sometimes you do gotta be that hypocrite. But it's hard to listen to a hypocrite.
As some would say, Torian just had that dog in him, but thankfully Polo G would help try to keep him away from the streets. He took him on tour, included him in his rap videos, and made sure to give him the best possible life. So between living in the LA hills, partying in Miami, and world touring, which 15-year-old could possibly ask for a better life? So from the outside looking in, life is pretty damn good for Torian. But then, a tragic incident would change everything. August 17th, 2020. It's a late afternoon in the low end of Chicago, and many teenagers are outside enjoying the last week of their summer break. In particular for Welch World, all of their young guys are outside on 42nd and St. Lawrence. Pretty much all of Torian's day one friends are outside having fun, not thinking of any beef. But that's when a tinted up car rolls through at 7:20 p.m. As the car slowly creeps up the block, they roll down their window and a teenage boy is critically injured, and a 17-year-old girl also sustains injuries. The boy, whose name is Azo and happens to be Trench Baby's best friend, undergoes brain surgery and is sadly placed into a coma. But thankfully, through miracle surgery, he's able to wake up and fully recover. Still though, the whole ordeal absolutely infuriated Torian. Someone really did this to his best friend, basically initiating a war in the new generation. Because of this incident, the beef is taken to a whole new level. On top of this, after Azo's recovery, an op would go on Instagram Live and clown him.
Look, this is Alonzo. Look, that's his song. That's his little video. Look, this him right here. This him right here. Goofy. Now it ain't that serious. Now it ain't that serious. Nah, it ain't that serious. Nah, it ain't that. He got hit. Nah, it ain't that serious. Nah, it ain't that serious. You couldn't even walk. Talk big helmet on your head. Look at him. God forgive me. I pray for you, boy. I pray for you, boy. Let y'all see it again. That's Azo, the rapper. Azo the GOAT. Yeah. You shouldn't even be trying to gangbang. You should have learned from that.
With all this happening to his best friend, Trench Baby felt the obligation to return to Chicago.
I can physically leave Chicago, but I can't leave Chicago. You feel me? Going out there, it's like I can't just get all that shit up. Or I gotta, you feel me, be in Chicago sometimes.
Sadly, at 15 years old, he heads back to the low end of Chicago on his own. There, he creates his new persona, one under the name of Trench Baby. He instantly starts releasing diss songs, posting up in op hoods, and gaining a bunch of traction on social media. From what we know, what happened to Azo really brought his savage out. He first drops a song called F Yo Homie, where he and Welch World members are walking through the neighborhood. This is a dangerous move, but it was essentially Trench Baby opting into the beef. Like, yeah, my brother might be rich, but I'm still in the rack full-fledged. Then he takes it to the next level with his second song, Richest Gangbanger, where he flexes his brother's money and disses the ops. This is a wicked game to be playing in Chicago, but for Trench Baby,
I don't know, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm on the outside looking in. I don't fully understand, brother, man. Trench Baby, I don't fully understand him, you know. I get that he was raised up in that shit, but I don't know. I guess he do feel away with the people he grew up with and how they still there and they got this, that, and the third going on, but I still can't fully understand him. Nah, cause he's still doing it. If you faking it, you wouldn't do it. I'm talking about if you was faking it, goddamn, you wouldn't do it. There's only so much you can fake. He actually went down with this shit like.
he's truly with all of the activities. Being in the low end every single day is definitely a risk, but thankfully that's when Big Bro comes to the rescue. To celebrate his new album Hall of Fame, Polo G goes on a sold-out world tour. In the summer of 2021, Polo G would go on his world tour and thankfully tag his little brother along. This takes touring away from the life of crime, but more importantly, away from the streets of Chicago. Polo G wanted nothing more than for his brother to live the good life, like I didn't get us out of Chicago for nothing. On top of this, during this period, he was able to surprise his mom with a dream mansion in Atlanta. This is a hallmark moment in Polo's life because he finally rewarded his mom for all of her sacrifices. Of course, his mom is very proud and extremely excited, but that's when she makes a big mistake. She instantly takes to social media and posts her new house everywhere. Sadly, if you have money, Atlanta is not a place you want to share your location. Why, you might be wondering? Well, if you've seen one of my previous videos, you definitely know why. There's gangs in Atlanta that run up millions and millions of dollars staking out the homes of the rich and famous. So little did Polo G's mom know, there were eyes on her home the second she posted it. And that takes us to August 31st, 2021. After spending a couple weeks at their mom's new house, Polo G and Trench Baby head back to LA. So after her children leave, mother goes to sleep in her mansion. While she's asleep at 3 a.m., she hears a boom at the door. So instantly she wakes up, grabs a MAC-10 from the closet, and runs downstairs. When she gets downstairs, she notices a masked man in the doorway, and instantly she lets off. The intruder instantly runs away, is able to hop the fence, and gets back in his car.
Hey! Motherfucker would've thought I had an infinity clip. I ain't lying. I'm not lying. Fuck a MAC-10. Motherfucker thought I'd have had a thousand round clip. Not grabbing the snub nose. I'm not grabbing the shotgun. Fuck that. She got a big ass house, so she got a little range to even do all that. Like, yeah. I would have shot the rust off the Nerf gun. I ain't gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. And she an old school gangster. Who put her on to the mat? She an old school gangster. Man.
If you have money, Atlanta is not a place you want to share your location. Why, you might be wondering? Well, if you've seen one of my previous videos, you definitely know why. There's gangs in Atlanta that run up millions and millions of dollars staking out the homes of the rich and famous. So little did Polo G's mom know, there were eyes on her home the second she posted it. And that takes us to August 31st, 2021. After spending a couple weeks at their mom's new house, Polo G and Trench Baby head back to LA. So after her children leave, mother goes to sleep in her mansion. While she's asleep at 3 a.m., she hears a boom at the door. So instantly she wakes up, grabs a MAC-10 from the closet, and runs downstairs. When she gets downstairs, she notices a masked man in the doorway, and instantly she lets off. Bam! The intruder instantly runs away, is able to hop the fence, and gets back in his car. This was definitely a scary incident to say the least, but thankfully everyone was able to walk away untouched. Well, when Polo and Trench land in LA, this is when they receive the terrifying news. So instantly and understandably angry Trench Baby heads right back to Atlanta.
A lot of that whole situation really pissed me off because I had just left the crib too. I had just left the crib and I had came out here to Cali with my brother. And we had both just left. Both of us just left the house the day before. And yeah, we get the news. My OG calling me. They got the SWAT team in there, all type of somebody tried to break in the crib. I don't know. I can't even explain how I was feeling at that time. Like you just left your mom's crib, like, feel me, and something happened. It's like, damn, I should have been there. Like, feel me, I should have been there to protect her. Like, so that shit really like took a toll on me. Like,
we don't actually know the specifics, but shortly after returning to Atlanta, Trench Baby finds himself in legal trouble. And this is where things get kind of interesting. While in Atlanta jail, Trench Baby figures out that somebody in there is bragging about breaking in his mom's house. Ooh, he's mad and he wants to put his hands on whoever's saying that. However, because he's a juvenile, he can't reach the guy who's in adult jail.
The person who did it, I was locked up in Atlanta. And the person who did it, he was like 2 pods. He was like 2 pods down from me. Feel me? And my homie, I got locked up with 2 of my homies. My homie, he was in the pod with him. He like calling me, they three-waying me on the phone. They like, yeah, boy, it's a dude up, and he like, feel me, bragging on doing this to your OG crib and saying, you feel me? He done did this to so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. Now I'm getting a description of, cause I seen the video when they did it. I'm getting a description of him and I'm like, feel me? I'm putting two and two together. I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, boy, I tried to get moved to that pod so many times, but it's like I was young. They weren't trying to move me to that pod. It was like an older pod, you feel me? Like an older.
Well, as a result of the scary ordeal, Polo G hires 24/7 armed security for his mom's house. And for Trench Baby, after doing a month in county jail, he's released on 3 months probation. While on house arrest in Atlanta, he takes full advantage by recording music and pushing his image. In fact, after some successful releases, major record labels began looking his way. But also, this is when his online beef with 757 is taken to the next level. In particular, he constantly goes back and forth with his main op 757 Baby Glock. So let me now introduce you to 757 Baby Glock. This is one of the sadder stories you'll ever hear. As crazy as this sounds, as an infant, his mother claimed the life of his father.
My daddy died when I was like, I'll say like two, and my OG, she was behind bars till I was like 11, 10. My OG, she stabbed him on cheek, and he ended up passing. It's a f***ed up situation, but like at the same time, like I don't feel no type of way, but I do, cause that's my pops. But still, like it is what it is, cause he was putting his hands on her, beating her bad as hell on bro.
So not only did he lose his father, but his mother was locked away until he was 11 years old. Understandably, with the lack of parental figures, he gravitated towards the streets early on. So even at the young ages of 8, 9, or 10 years old, Baby Glock was outside in 757 territory. As a kid in this situation, he found family in the streets that he was lacking at home. So eventually when his mother got out of prison, this definitely brought tension to the table.
But it was like when she first got out, like we weren't really seeing eye to eye like that, cause there was a lot of shit going on.
So wait, I mean, with your father not being around and your mother being locked up, you think that played a role on?
Yeah, I think if my OG and my father was like, if that ain't happened to my father or my OG, I think like I wouldn't be who I am now. I probably been in a different environment, living good, still in school, not a target, able to go everywhere.
Deep down, he knows he's a good person, but sadly, the life he jumped into completely pulled him away.
Bro, like if I do go somewhere, I got my shiesty with me, like bro, mask up, and I don't really be liking that all the time, but it is what it is, bro.
Damn, I ain't gonna lie, that is kind of a fucked up life. You know, any given moment, you gotta, I'm talking about everything's on the line. In any given moment with you, you know? Freedom, life.
Believe it or not, growing up they were close friends, but once they chose different sides of the map, things got serious. So while on house arrest in Atlanta, Trench Baby goes on live with 757 Baby Glock and they exchange words.
Hey, Torian.
He asks him, why are you online doing this when you're literally never in Chicago?
You know what I'm on. Don't be asking me that like you in Chicago.
I don't know what you on. I don't know what you be doing. I don't know none of that shit. I'm ignorant. I don't know shit. Let me know something. Oh my grandma. Let me know something. I don't know shit.
Then Baby Glock says that he turned the rivals up, which Trench Baby seems to agree with.
Chill out with all that, man. You know I turned y'all up.
You say you did what?
I turned y'all up.
On Maxine, you did. You gave me something to rap about.
Y'all act the way because of me.
Y'all gave me something to rap about. Thank you, goofy.
So, but look. Y'all was doing all that fighting and shit. I made y'all pick up them guns.
Saying he's the reason they have something to rap about, and also that he's the reason they picked up sticks, is saying a lot. Now, I'm not the police, but I assume they're talking about what happened to Torian's best friend. Well, by this time, Baby Glock was already known in the area as a crash-out demon, not somebody you ever want to mess with. On top of this, his best friend and right-hand man 757 Lil Rue was just as dangerous. While the back and forth dissing goes on for weeks, with Trench Baby constantly dissing his broke ops. On top of this, Trench Baby exposes Lil Rue for getting his pole snatched and wants to make sure that everyone knows. All of this pisses off 757, and sadly, it would not go over well. While Trench Baby's living good in a mansion in LA, his friends are targets in the streets of Chicago. And that takes us to October 1st, 2022. It's a nice breezy afternoon on the south side of Chicago, and a Welch World member named Arab G is posted up outside on 110th. The well-respected member is like 70 blocks away from the low end, so he feels comfortable being outside with his friends and family. However, after posting on social media, somehow his ops figure out where he is. At 1:20 p.m., a car creeps down 110th, and outside they spot Arab G. So instantly a man hops out and runs down. The incident shocked everyone based on where it occurred, but this is just a reminder that nowhere you are in Chicago is safe. Well, directly after the incident, Welch World members would take to social media to commemorate their friend. One of these people would be his best friend Marquise Lewis, also known as Lil Savage. The incident devastated Marquise so much that he stayed at the scene for hours and hours. He was in complete disbelief and also understandably hurting after the loss of his friend. But sadly, staying at the scene was not a good idea. At 9 p.m. Marquise is still outside on 110th mourning with his friends and family. Little does he know Arab G's rivals are still spinning around and are not done doing destruction. At 9:15, the same car from earlier double backs around and rolls down their window. Chicago is really something else, but this just goes to show that being associated with Welch World in any way is extremely dangerous. The back-to-back losses truly stunned the Welch World members, as this was a declaration of war with no rules. For a now 17-year-old Trench Baby, this was definitely a sign to stay his butt in LA. The sitting in a mansion in LA and dissing online and making fun of your ops is one thing, but when your friends are dying back-to-back in Chicago, it's a sign to stay away. Thankfully, this is what Trench Baby decides to do. However, he doesn't leave the life of crime alone.
Oh no.
Trench Baby turns into a robber. Although he has a multi-millionaire brother who seemingly gives him a bunch of money, somehow this doesn't cut it for Trench Baby. For whatever reason, he develops the need to become a serial thief, and it gets progressively worse and worse. He becomes an absolute menace in the streets of Los Angeles, targeting rappers, YouTubers, or anyone with flashy items. From what we know, the madness all began on...
Although I don't condone the whole robbery shit, I do see where he coming from. I'm not trying to shoot this nigga no bail. But just because this nigga Polo G is rich, successful, doesn't mean motherfuckers want to keep asking that nigga for money. Come on, let's go ahead and keep it high, bro. Niggas don't want to keep asking that man for money. Now, I just seen some of Trench Baby views on YouTube in his music videos. He had something coming in now. The nigga wasn't broke, or fucked up. He had some money coming in off them streams, bro. Now, is he just doing this off of pure greed? I don't know. But I like the fact that he wanted to develop his own type of hustle. And goddamn, man, that nigga want to develop his own fucking hustle, bro.
New Year's 2023, Trench Baby's first official robbery. It's New Year's in Los Angeles and everyone is outside trying to party and have a good time. This includes an up-and-coming Chicago rapper B Bands who happens to be in LA trying to network. At this point, he's starting to gain traction with multiple songs getting views and he's trying to expand his career. Well, as he's maneuvering around doing what he does, little does he know, here comes the dangerous Trench Baby. Because they're not from rival hoods, when B-Band sees Trench Baby, he really thinks nothing of it. But allegedly and according to police, Trench Baby approaches B-Bands with malicious intentions. He allegedly grabs his blick from off his waist, whacks him with it, and takes all his jewelry.
Damn.
Not only is it terrible that he robbed a rapper who's trying to make it out of the Chicago trenches, but he even takes it to the next level. He instantly goes on live bragging about the incident and trying his best to embarrass B Bands.
Bands, this bitch got them emeralds in that.
You was doing it with this bitch.
Big and rock to your ass.
Never. On Maxine, and you better not never drop a song ever again, Trey. You gonna either get it up or get hit up. On Maxine, that little boy took the safe route. On Maxine, that little boy took the safe route, folks. He knew it. And then that's what I don't understand though, gang. Y'all hear me? I'm just gonna say this, then I'm gonna get off the lot. On Maxine, like, how you get your gun took? Smack with your own scrap. Like I'm talking about smacked outside your wheel with your own scrap. And rob with your own gun, gang. That's the most goofiest. Oh, Maxie, I wouldn't even want to drop a song like that. That shit's so goofy, gang. Like, these rap, though, these the rap, y'all be listening to and all type of shit. Like, goofy, like, that shit clowned out, though. But I'm off of this bitch, though. I don't even do this internet shit. You come get your shit back, gang. I don't love this shit, bro. Just give my 80,000, bro. And we good, Maxie.
Not only did he rob him, embarrass him, try to end his rap career, but now he wants to offer him one of the worst decisions he could ever make.
Or look, we can do it like this. We in the same city, you know we in the same city. Maxine Gray, Maxine Thomas. Meet up in the field, I'll put the chain in the middle of the field, walk you like a dog for your chain, nigga. Whoever win the bank out, bring whoever you want to. On Maxine, whoever win, get the chain to watch, nigga.
Bro.
Bang out! Bang out! This motherfucker, who the fuck he thought he was? Hey, my nigga, this ain't the Wild Wild West. Who got the quickest draw of the fucking West? What the fuck he want? This nigga crazy, man.
And bring some money, too.
Bring all your homies. It's gonna be me and my homies. Gonna Maxine, I'm gonna walk you like a dog.
Oh, let's talk about fight.
This guy is an absolute menace for no reason. Well, first, let me give a shout out to B-Bands, and I want everyone to go flood his page. But also now I want to bring up an important question. Why do you think that Trench Baby was doing this? It's like you live in a mansion, you have some fame, you could probably get whatever girl you want, so why are you trying to inflict pain on other people? It doesn't make any sense. Well, if you're anything like me and you're completely lost for words, we go to DJ Academics for times like this. Here's his probably correct theory on the situation.
Let me tell you the reality about Polo G's brother. The hanger-on, the brother of the guy who made it, who has some resentment that maybe because you're not the star, you're trying to figure out your way, so you start acting out. A larger problem that goes into when you are the sibling of a rich rapper and you're still trying to get some type of points. Like, you can't accept the role that you're in. You're not the rich famous rapper. By the way, he's trying to help you be a rapper too. Maybe he just has like an urge to rob, or and you could realize like he's addicted to like the hood shit. I'm like, maybe this is addicted to robbing niggas. Like, he took him out of Chicago, he still want to do hood rap. I gotta imagine that he was in LA trying to get his stripes. Back to Chicago. If you want to do run and gun, go to Chicago. Don't come to North Hollywood with your run and gun shit.
It's like in his head he wanted to prove that I'm not just a famous rapper's little brother. I'll actually rob you and I'm with all the activities. Now, if you don't think that being overshadowed...
I'm saying, who says that? Like, who says, oh, nigga, you ain't shit but Polo G, brother? Well, it's, the fans are saying this to this man? I ain't gonna lie. If the people able to hop in your DM and say something that get to you, to get you doing crazy shit, you done already lost. You done fucking lost already. Right then and there, you done lost. If these folks that don't know you from a can of paint can say words to influence you to do the stupidest shit ever, you done already lost, bro. Because once they see that shit getting to you, God damn it, they gonna press harder, double down, triple down, quadruple down on this shit. They ain't gonna leave you alone about it. Every time you open a DM, it's gonna be whatever the fuck is getting to you, or whatever it is that you show is getting to you. Prime example, say if you get on the internet crying about your bitch left, you guess what all your DMs gonna be full of? That's why your bitch left, nigga. That bitch left and you ain't never get her back. But y'all see what the hell I'm trying to say.
Shadowed by his big brother affected him? Watch this live about him talking about it.
Oh, here
you say I sound like Polo, woo woo. Alright, so why these labels calling my phone right now trying to sign me? Why my getting 300K in 1 month? Huh? Tell me. If felt like I was dick riding, why my shit getting 500K views, all type of shit on one video? Come on, I get the out my. I ain't got a dick ride no. What's wrong with y'all, man? Get the on my. You talking about sound, man? Get your clown on. Look. He saying, oh, you sound like Polo. Ooh. Okay, boom. But you reacted to all my music, bumping your head to my. So you a fan? So you like my. You like when I sound like Polo, don't you? You like that? You bump your head to it, goofy. All right, look, boom. I sound like Polo. All right, bet. This is what we can do. We can set up a boxing match. I'll beat your daddy. I'll be.
I'm trying to fuck with dude, bro, but he proving niggas right. Fuck. He proving niggas right. Fuck, man. I don't want to get on this video calling dude a crash out. I don't want to get on this video really talking bad about him. But goddamn it, you proving niggas right.
Beat your ass. I'll beat your big brother ass. Whoever want to get their ass beat, we can do it. Set up the boxing match. I'ma show you how these Polo G rapping hands coming. I'ma beat on your head. Set up the boxing match.
It's like being compared to his brother bothered him so much, and he kinda knew that he would never be the same caliber of rapper, so he needed something else to hold his hat on. And sadly, that crutch would be the easiest one of them all, being a complete savage in the streets that nobody can say anything.
Man, look. And see, that's why I scratch whatever the fuck I was about to say, bro. But I ain't gonna lie. Not everybody want to be a number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 ass nigga. Niggas just don't want to be that sometimes. But if the number 1 is Polo G, the nigga that's going platinum every year, what you think number 2 gonna get? If Polo G number 1 making $30 million a year, what you think number 2 gonna get? He might clean up a easy 10, a easy 15. I'm saying if us as a team we hold down to all 3 spots or 5 spots in the top 10, we're good as a collective. Why the fuck everybody want to be number 1? I'm just saying as a team unit, team effort, goddamn it. Everybody got their place and position. It's no way this nigga was crashing out to be number 1. That's the picture they trying to paint, bro. Who wouldn't? I'm saying this, though. Everybody's not number 1, bro. Everybody can't be number 1. But goddamn it, if you good enough to fall in 2 or 3, you good. You gonna eat. Get just about as many bitches you want. Life gonna be sweet. Maybe I ain't articulate that point well, but some niggas know what I'm talking about, bro. They all under the same label. They all under the same label imprint and all that. It ain't even like he gotta be the personal assistant nigga. The close assistant. Who handle all Polo G intermediate shit. The nigga that's running to get the Tylenol or something. You know? The nigga that's running to get the blunts and shit. Like, he ain't him. God damn it, he just gonna be. Gotta be some number 2 ass niggas. Hey, look, I'd rather be a number 2 than a number nothing. We always striving to be the best, but if number 2 where I fall, fuck it. I'm just saying. And if number 2 where I fall, fuck it. I'm always striving to be the best, though. The best of the best, top of the line, whatever the case may be. But if I fall in number 2, I fall in number 3, fuck it. I bet I'm eating for sure. Yeah.
About. It doesn't make any sense, but as a man, our pride is always our biggest downfall. And sadly, from here, it would only get worse for Trench Baby. According to LAPD, this is when he develops a new mastermind scheme. So here's what he does. He allegedly starts hitting up LA videographers and saying that his brother Polo G wants a video shoot. So obviously the videographers see this as an amazing opportunity and they agree to do it. So Trench Baby then gives them a time and location, and when they show up, he robs them for all their equipment.
I'm just saying shit.
From what we know,
everybody want to be at the top of the kingdom the whole time. Shit. I ain't gonna lie. At first, I didn't. At first, at a younger age, I didn't agree with the whole hierarchy shit. Like the whole hierarchy shit. Like y'all know what a hierarchy shit is. I ain't gonna lie. But goddamn it, I ain't never agree with it. But the whole time, that shit alright. That shit alright. It's a way of order around shit, you know? Goddamn it, the king talk to the queen talk to this person talk to this person. It's a chain of command. And shit. Sometimes that shit needed. But yeah, at one point in time in life, I ain't too much believe in that shit.
he continues to do this for months and months. But on top of this wild and dangerous lifestyle, he's also online dissing his Chicago ops. In early 2023, he was constantly clowning his 757 ops on a weekly basis. He taunts them, calls them broke, and basically says that they can do nothing about it. Obviously, the ops who are broke and still in the trenches are hurt by these comments and want to do something to Trench Baby. But because he's all the way in LA and seemingly untouchable, there's nothing they can do to stop his taunting. So that's when his main op, 757 Lil Rue, takes it to the next level. He goes on Instagram Live with Trench Baby and tells him he knows exactly where his brother lives. The live is now deleted, but he does it in a very threatening manner. Basically
last time I smoked was shit. I'm not coming down.
Insinuating that I'm coming to LA to get you. Watch out. Trench Baby does not take the threat lightly, especially given Lil Rue's reputation. And not too long after the Instagram Live, Lil Rue actually does fly to LA. Aw shit. June 10th, 2023. 757 Lil Rue arrives to LA, and the first thing he looks for is a striker. So from what we know, he goes on social media looking for someone who can get him one. Somehow he's able to find one, and the man gives him a time and location to meet. Meet me at 1 in the morning in an empty parking lot behind a car dealership in North Hollywood, California. So Lil Rue waits in his hotel room till late, and then he heads out to the location. At 12:15 in the morning, he hops in an Uber in Inglewood headed to North Hollywood. The Uber arrives at 1 and drops him off on the corner of Magnolia Boulevard. From here, Lil Rue casually walks up the street headed for the parking lot. As he's gingerly walking up the street, a car is creeping right behind him. Rue is looking around for the guy he's supposed to meet, but he doesn't see anyone outside. Then at 1:15, a tinted up car pulls up and a man hops out. A man in a mask then walks up to Rue and simply whips out. What happened to Lil Rue puzzled everyone. Why was he in LA, and how did something happen to him in North Hollywood? So right away, the internet would do their investigations. What the F you doing walking down an alley at 1:30 in the morning? Was it bad parts of LA?
He was close to a blood hood. He was walking through a gang territory, and they thought he was the ops.
It's North Hollywood. Nah, they get busy up there. Alright bro, can we stop? What do you guys think LA is? Like, please turn off Boys in the Hood. It's not 1992, let's get realistic. Like, if you're rolling around LA, the chances of you running into some gang member who's actually with the activities is very, very low. Like, even if you go down to South Central, the worst you're gonna see is Crip Mac or Bompton G Uno.
Nah, no bullshit. Hey, niggas. Everything is a hierarchy. Hey, no, niggas was in, okay, you go to my Instagram and you see the picture I took the King Von, that jacket I took the King Von picture in, while I was in Chicago, that same jacket I went to LA in. Mind you, bro, they had me in, they had me in the South Central part of LA. I had that motherfucking jacket on, these high blue forces, bro. I didn't know I was in South Central until I got back to the room. Got there and I looked where the place, basically the location and shit. Bro, I didn't feel like a threat. Almost got your ass folded. No, I didn't feel threatened, bro. I didn't feel threatened at all. Like, I didn't feel like my life was in danger. None of that. Not saying I'm like the biggest, toughest guy. None of that. It's just shit. The truth of the matter. Now, if I would have known, I would have kept on the blue shoes. On God. I would have took that jacket off. I would have took that jacket off. It was hot anyway. If I'm lying, I'm dying. I would have took the jacket if I would have knew. Now that King Von jacket probably said, alright. I don't know, you know, the blues and shit. I ain't having no hat, no nothing. But yeah, that shit was I ain't go to no gas station or nothing though. Watch something else. Hold on, we almost done with this.
But regardless, after reading through all these theories, I finally found one that makes sense. I don't think it was mistaken identity. They seem to keep catching each other in LA. Well, just days after the incident.
And if you're watching this video on YouTube, make sure you turn on my notification bell. First comment, first like gets a Cash App prize. Shout out to everybody, you know, that be tuning in to the videos. Let's get back into this one though.
Trench Baby would take a picture and the location would be Lil Rue. Self-snitching at its finest, but LAPD wouldn't figure it out for quite some time. In the meantime, 757 knew exactly who did this, and because of that, it caused a serious retaliation. Lil Rue was a top-ranking member, and they knew for certain that Trench Baby had done this. However, because he's unreachable in LA, they decide to get back in Chicago. That fast forwards us 2 weeks, June 23rd, 2023. It's a late Friday afternoon and Welch World members want to go out and have some fun in peace. In particular, Trench Baby's best friend named Turbo decides to leave the city to have some fun. So at 7:30 p.m, he and a couple friends head down Interstate 55 to the small suburb of Romeoville, Illinois. In particular, they intend on going to Scene 75, which is basically like an arcade for grown-ups. So they arrive around 8:15 and they go inside with nothing but fun on their minds. They walk around, holler at some girls, and do what they do, not knowing that the rivals have been tracking them through social media. After seeing their stories on Instagram, the rivals drive all the way to Scene 75. They arrive at 10 o'clock just when everyone is emptying out. So they wait at the exit until they spot the Welch World members coming out. So as Turbo and his friends are walking out, they're seen by the rivals who quickly approach them. Turbo instantly puts his hands up to squabble, but sadly the rivals have no intentions of fighting. The incident shocked Welch World, especially based on where it occurred. On top of this, Turbo wasn't known to be a big target and he pretty much was hit off of collateral damage. Because Trench Baby was still in LA, they wanted some revenge for what he allegedly did. Well, although this sadly seems like a regular occurrence, the incident actually had some serious implications. Firstly, Romeoville is a small quiet suburb where nothing ever happens. So because of this incident, the city decided to cancel a major Hot Wheels event the next day.
The Hot Wheels Legends Tour event has been canceled. That event was scheduled for this afternoon in Romeoville, near where last night's shooting happened. Event organizers say they hope to reschedule once they know they can do so safely.
As a result, the city and local businesses lost out on a whole lot of money. And speaking of money, Turbo's family decided to sue Surge 75, seeking a major payday. They basically state that Surge 75 is responsible for letting the suspects in and allowing them to do what they did. It's hard to decipher how it actually happened because different reports say different things. But either way it went, the 757 rivals took no time to get on the internet and clown. So in typical Chicago fashion, 757 basically admitted to doing it. And as a result, the suspect was arrested a few days later.
Tonight, Romeoville police announced they arrested a 16-year-old boy in Chicago with the help of the U.S. Marshals Service Great Lakes Regional Fugitive Task Force. The teen is now facing first-degree murder charges and is being held on a $5 million bond.
Of course, the loss hurt Trench Baby, but it's also like you set it off, or allegedly. So while you're up in your LA mansion, your friends are being targeted in Chicago. That can't feel good. And sadly, 757 was not done yet. 4 days later, June 27th, 2023, 7 p.m. Despite the current beef with the young generation, an OG Welch World member named Lil Dude is outside on their main block on 43rd. Lil Dude was one of the original So Icy members and pretty much like a best friend to Tay Savage. So really, the beef that's happening now is the younger generations and has nothing to do with him. Regardless though, the rivals want any Welch World members they can find. So at 7:30, Lil Dude is outside when a tinted up car rolls through. That's when they roll down their window and without any hesitation, bang! This is when the beef gets even more serious, as now OGs are not even off limits. Basically, after Trench Baby allegedly claimed the life of Lil Rue, Welch World members started dropping like flies in Chicago. Because of this, Trench Baby can no longer stand what's happening. So the next day, he makes the dangerous decision to hop on a flight and return to Chicago.
I knew it though.
He instantly goes to his rival's block and posts to come outside. Yeah, my brother's rich and I live in the LA hills, but I'm also outside and I'm not ducking smoke. The gang comes before everything else. That's the sad mentality of Trench Baby. Well, just the very next day, things would get serious. June 29th, 2023, 7 p.m. A well-respected 757 OG named Ivo is out on the block on this beautiful afternoon. He happens to be with his girlfriend on South Stewart Avenue, over 25 blocks away from the beef. Well, little does he know, somehow the rivals got his location. So at 7:20 p.m., a car rolls around and sadly lets off. In typical Chicago fashion, it's eye for an eye every day. Even though Ivo had nothing to do with the younger generation, they did this to him based on what 757 had done to them. It's a truly sad situation, but at this point, nobody was off limits in the beef. Trench Baby was the biggest target of them all, and he knew this, so he decided to head right back to LA. But strangely, Trench Baby goes right back to his life of crime. According to LAPD, this is when he takes his robberies to a whole new level. He starts facilitating the most low-down and dirty scams imaginable. Videographers, up-and-coming rappers, YouTubers, and much more. So here's an example. He hits up an up-and-coming rapper and says Polo G likes your music and he wants to get in the studio with you. So the young rapper is geeked and he thinks this is a career-changing opportunity. So he instantly agrees to do it and Trench Baby tells him to pull up to the mansion. The young rapper pulls up to the mansion expecting to meet Polo G, but nope, right there is Trench Baby with a blick. Give me your money, chains, and anything you have, then drive away, and if you call the police, it's not a good idea. So after giving everything up, the rapper runs away and can do nothing about it. The disgusting scheme continues for months and months as Trench Baby allegedly targets everyone in the industry.
Let me tell you the reality about Polo G's brother.
Bro, they are so serious, bro. What the fuck? This shit is stupid. And it's like, motherfuckers be trying to make it in this rap shit, bro. a motherfucker be trying to make it in this rap shit, bro. So with his name and his ties, he able to get that off. He able to get that off because motherfuckers so hungry to make it, bro. Motherfuckers so hungry to make it in this rap shit. And then he having niggas pull up to the mansion. Crazy work.
The entire industry has been hearing about this kid for the last year and nothing good. Polo G's brother done robbed at least like 10 niggas in the industry using his name. I'm telling you this as a fact. Setting people up. Yo, you want to link with Polo? Show up. Polo ain't there. He's there pulling out guns. The conversation in the industry for the last year is that Polo G brother has been running around here robbing every cameraman, every videographer. He robbed even a couple streamers. Doing all type of f***ery. I'm just being honest with you. And he's been using Polo G's name. If your brother, who has a lot to lose, is the famous rapper, why are you running around here robbing people, pulling out guns, having people at gunpoint? It's been making Polo G look horrible. And I've heard he's done it to multiple people. He'll say, yo, you want to link with Polo G? All right, cool. Meet us over here. You show up there, Polo G not there. He's there with guns and he's robbing you. Facts. Polo G has to know this. And as much as you love your brother, sometimes you got to get them away from the environment that doesn't help them. He would be robbing some of these individuals for jewelry that he already had. You go to his Instagram, he's iced out. This is the craziest part about it. I'm telling you, chat, it's mind-boggling to me. The would be robbing people for jewelry, and if you look on his Instagram, he's iced the out.
Shit makes no sense.
Robbing people for watches, he already got a watch. Robbing people for chains, he already got a chain. Matter of fact, he got 2 watches. Yo, chat, you like when I first started hearing that he was doing this shit, you know what I kept saying? It's not that he's robbing people because he don't have it. He's robbing people for sport. He's a sport robber.
Trench Baby is definitely a sport robber and he's treating California like a complete joke. But obviously he can't keep robbing people forever. It is California and nobody defends themselves. So maybe he can. So maybe no one will defend themselves, but eventually somebody will call the police. For months and months, all the victims were terrified to tell on him in fear of what he would do to them. But finally, a very famous unnamed videographer would make the right decision. August 15th, 2023. Trench Baby books a famous videographer to shoot a music video for Polo G. At this time, Polo G happens to be out of the country, but the videographer doesn't know this. So he pulls up to the Los Angeles mansion with all of his equipment. Trench Baby then lets him into the house and puts a blick to his head. Pull out your phone, open your bank account, and wire me all of your money. With his life in danger, the videographer has no other choice than to wire him all of his life savings. So he reluctantly goes through with it, and now he wonders what's next. Trench Baby thankfully lets him go, but allegedly tells him to not talk to police. Well, the videographer takes off with no money to his name and he had lost all of his possessions. Although Trench Baby is intimidating, he had no choice at this point but to call the police. So eventually the man does call the police, and it's probably the easiest case ever in history. He shows them all of the messages and of course the paper trails of the bank wire transfer. Now right then and there, police could have arrested Trench Baby, but they really wanted to do something bigger. Because they don't believe it's an isolated incident, they begin to track all of his actions. And after locating multiple victims, they finally decide to crack down. On August 24th, 2023, the Los Angeles SWAT team raid Polo G's mansion.
U.S. Marshals got my house surrounded. They got my house surrounded, gang. What the f?
Not only were police able to solve all of the robberies, but they also found the biggest crime of them all. After tapping his phone and reading all of his messages, it led them to the major event on June 10th. Police believe that not only did Trench Baby set up Lil Rue, he also was the one who got it finished. So on top of numerous robbery charges, he's also facing life in prison for first-degree murder. At just 18 years old, Trench Baby is looking at sitting in a prison cell for the rest of his life. From life in a mansion, supercars, and with models, to sitting in a 6x9 cell, that cannot feel good. Well, only time will tell what'll happen, but on another note, Polo G would also face some legal troubles. On April 11th, 2024, Polo G would be arrested in New York for gun possession in a hotel room.
Rapper Polo G arrested by the NYPD on multiple gun charges. Appeared this afternoon in Manhattan Criminal Court where he was arraigned on 3 gun charges.
This is legal in 49 states, so honestly, I feel bad for him on this one. Either way, the law is the law, and Polo G is now also faced with being a felon. The Bartlett family just can't seem to catch a break, and sadly from here it would only get worse. Now we all might be wondering, how did Trench Baby become such an angry and dangerous person despite all of the good circumstances in life? Well, like I said earlier, we never truly know what somebody's been through, especially at home. Just recently, Polo and Trench's older sister would come out and say that their mom shot at her. She also says that it's their mom's fault that Trench Baby's in jail and that she also shot at him.
The reason why my little brother is even in jail is because of this. She the one introduced him to the penal system and shooting at him, getting him locked up. And then we come over for Easter and she want to be another mess. And now you shooting at me.
This instantly went viral and the internet was taken back by her comments. Like she had to have made this up. There's no way that Polo G's mom shot at her son and daughter on different occasions. There's no way. But then a few weeks later, surveillance footage would come out that shows her doing exactly that. I'm not gonna put it in the video, but if you wanna look it up, go ahead.
Did you see the new footage of Polo G's mom shooting at his sister?
It's her daughter, right?
Yes.
Insane.
He brought his sister along, his brother along, and his mom is his manager. His brother, he tried to make an artist, didn't work out. What he could rely back on is, well, I was a thug and I was a goon back in Chicago.
This whole situation is a sad mess, and I have this feeling that there's something much deeper going on with this family. But what do you guys think? What do you make of everything that's happened in Polo G's family? Well, on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, let me know what you want to see next. Peace!
Hey, look, this is nothing but a story of stop being ungrateful with the blessing. Cherish the blessing. Cherish the blessing. I had to learn that shit myself. Cherish the blessing. Cherish the blessing. This nigga ain't cherishing the blessing. He doing crazy shit. I blame their moms. I can't even blame the moms because everybody grown. And I ain't gonna lie. Since he like the head honcho with the bread and like the nigga that's out here really bringing it all in and all that, it's time for Polo G to step in line like as the leader and kind of control the whole situation. Bro, nobody really want to tell their parent what to do and shit. Or their older sister for that matter, you feel me? But it's like, what y'all do hurt my money. You know, I don't know the lady Polo G mama's first name, but we call her Polo G mama. That's what we call this woman. Same with his sister. I forgot they said it. But goddamn it, same with his little brother. That's what we call him. The Polo G little brother, Polo G sister, and Polo G mama. So he gotta kind of command everything. He gotta, you know, not necessarily love him from a distance, but if the mama is the manager, all right, cool. Shit, all the jobs can come in. This is what you gotta do. And then if the sister is there for support or whatever, goddamn it. You know, but all this shit that's going in the headlines, it's fucking up the money, man.